Hey y'all, so come to work with me. Today I'm going to be doing a Infiniti G35. I think it's a 2003. And I'm going to be changing out the O2 sensors and the knock sensor. So I changed out the spark plug and the coil, which the customer swore that's what the issue was. But it's the knock sensor and the O2 sensor. So let's get this changed out and I'll show you all the process. Okay, so I'm finishing up this Infiniti G35. I'm going to be doing the O2 sensors and the knock sensor. So I got this here. I have some anti-seize. I have a variety of tools. My torque wrench. Also have a couple, this thing right here, the extension, whatever this is called, for the O2 sensor if it doesn't work. And then I have this here that has like multiple angles. And then I have this here, which I absolutely love, which is my main source to get the O2 sensor off. That one I really like too. Then I have this for the plug, and then extensions if I need it, which I don't think I will. You never know. And then I have this one too, so this is also for the plug, but I might need a smaller one. Okay, so I'm changing out the O2 sensor. I ended up taking off the tire because of the position that I need to get to. So if you look up here, you see the O2 sensor. This is kind of high up. I just got to figure out where it leads to. A lot of this is like tracing, just tracing the lines, following everything. And so let me get to this. I got to figure out where this is going, where it's connected to, but I think the hardest part is just locating it. Actually, no, I lied. That is not the hardest part. The hardest part is actually getting it unloose and in the position that you're in. So we'll see if this wants to work with me. Let's pray. So actually, it did not give me a hard time. All I did was is that I placed this around here, like so, like this on here, and then use my little extension. So it's kind of hard to film because of the angle, but this is how you want to do it. So now I just got to find where this is connected to and disconnected. Okay, something I want you to look at. You see the O2 sensor, and then you see this here. Now come around here, and you see how it goes right here. Let me see if I can focus my camera. So it's right here, and that is the intake. The intake manifold up there, if this will focus. And so what I'm going to do is that you see the air duct. I'm going to take out the intake manifold in order to get to that green, this. There we go. Okay, so from the top, if you saw, it had that little crossing right here. So what I think is I'll just take this little section out right here so that I can get to the O2 sensor without removing the entire bracket. But if I do need to, then it's not a like hard fix. Not a hard process to remove it. I'm just going to remove this right here as opposed to the whole entire thing. Let's see if that works. Okay, so our customer's fancy. He got me a little, what's it called? Like a fender cover. But this one here is 10 millimeter bolts. I'm just going to do this one. Do this one. I don't think I can do this one-handed, but I'm going to just try and pull this one back. So apparently it's not going to let me do it two-handed either. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just give a little bit of adjustment. And then a lot of times when I don't want to lose stuff, I'll take it out and then put it right back in there. So I'm going to loosen this. Okay, in order to take out this hub, because it's just not going to come out any other way, you want to take this one off and this one off. And then that way it gets a little bit of like looseness to where you can pull this one up off of that little circular thing here. Okay, so as far as plugs, when it comes to women, feminists don't come for me, but we are not stronger than men. and our fingers are not as strong as men. So what I like to do is I do this here, squeeze it and pull up, and then just gives me this. Now if you come at it from the top angle of the car, and look and see here, you see the O2 sensor down there, you see where it connects here, so that means that I need to remove this one as well. So I've gotten this. Okay. Shit. I've gotten this part off. I'm gonna unplug this, take these off, and remove it. Okay, so I got all the intake duct off. And then what do we have here? The O2 motherfucking sensor, honey. Again, let's work harder, not smarter. So if you look here, it has a little tab right here. Let's see if I can unplug it without my little tool. It's very rare I can. Nope. I like to put it on the big one. And remove this. And you see that? You see how easy that was? I can't do it by hand. I don't know why. I just can't. So here we go. Now, I think that this is kind of, this is not the proper word, but like spliced on to where it has like it's set on a groove. Does that make sense? So it should be able just to pop off, but it's not coming off. So sometimes you just gotta examine it. Sometimes it'll be gentle to where I don't want to break stuff. And so I'll be overthinking it. But this one doesn't seem like it's just gonna come off. Now, one of the other things, I'm gonna take a break from this shit because I can't get to that, is taking off this little harness right here, which is low-key the same as this right there. So you gotta get in between here and then pry it open, which is why I have it like this. Okay, so I got it off there. You see the little splines. Okay, so I figured it out. You're actually supposed to press this little button in and then pull it. It's kind of hard to see because it's upside down, but you see it's in this little groove, so you just press it in and pull. So I got it off. Okay, so I got it loose. And my phone starts working correctly. I got that in here. And you can't really see it, but I'm just gonna unloosen this. It's already loose, so I just gotta take it out. So now that we got the upstream, let's do the downstream, which is right here and here. Easy access, but let's hope this just comes off. I didn't spray this before, so the first one was pretty easy, so let's see if this one works too. Okay, so we have the downstream O2 sensor, and then we have the upstream O2 sensor on the passenger side. Now, the upstream is a lot easier to do on the passenger side than the driver's side, so I would suggest that you start with the driver's side because then everything else is downhill from there. So let's get this unhooked, and then I got the knock sensor, and then I'm done. So I'm gonna see if I can show you how I do this with this little hook. I need to fill that little opening, and as soon as I fill it, like if you carry it down and do that, it'll fall into it. Go. See that? And then you could turn it around, press this in. I cannot do it with my hands. I don't know why. Just what I do is I grab this, make sure I put it on the bigger one. I do this. Get a little hook. And like that. Okay, so the focus is here. I gotta get this here. Actually, it's turning the other way, so I want it closer. To here. Okay, so for the O2 sensor, which is on top of here, you see that cord there? There's a cord here that goes from here all the way up. I'm going to trace that on top, okay? So sometimes it's all about paying attention, although you might think that this would be the O2 sensor. It's actually right in between here. See that? Okay, so this is the driver, upstream and downstream, and then you have the passenger, upstream and downstream. A lot of times these O2 sensors are different numbers, so you want to look at these and kind of compare. It's an easy way to figure it out. You don't necessarily need to know if it's the upstream or the downstream. So number one, you have this little hook right here, so that usually indicates the upstream. And then you have two of these, so that also indicates the upstream. Now we got to figure out the downstream on which part. If you look at this color and you look at this color, blue and green. And so we have the green. And where's my other one? Which is the 0.08. We have the blue. So that's how you can figure out which one is which. You always want to like kind of keep it separated. So this is driver's side, and then here's the passenger side. But that's a simple way to figure out which cord is which. So these come with these little like protectors for the what is this called, like an anti-seize, but I like to add my own. I know that's a little much, but I actually like to add, I'm gonna just do like a little dab right there, and I'll show you. Obviously I can't do it one-handed, but I'll show you how to do it. So if you look at this one here, I just added just a tad bit more, just because I like stand by this. I really love this. It takes away all the rust. Anything that's like rusted, it will just come right off. Now this one that the manufacturer, whoever put on, that's cool because it's a manufacturer, but I just know for a fact that this works. So I'm going to go with what I know. And I'm going to install this. Also, I'm going to add a little bit more, but I'm going to make sure that I keep this one so I don't get it onto the actual O2 sensor. And so I'm going to just do that. And then change it here. And then add a little bit here. And then that way when you do like this, it doesn't get all over the O2 sensor. Also, if you look here, it's blue and green. And so I'm gonna attach the blue to the blue side. Okay, so when I'm installing the O2 sensor, you're gonna be putting it in this way. So righty tighty, lefty loosey, righty tighty. And so I always like to wrap this around. So let's see if I can find it from here. So once you put it in, I like to back it off.